Hello everyone and welcome to this video about Rollercoin. We continue our introductory series designed for those who are new to the game, or have not started yet and want to understand how it works first. If you still have to register, I invite you to do it using the link you find in the description. In this way you will help the channel produce more videos, and you will have an initial bonus of 1,000 satoshis, half a pittance, but it is a symbolic gesture. The alternative is nothing. In case you want to use the referral of this channel, you will make me very happy, and for this I thank you. Today we're going to have a quick, so to speak, overview of mini games, which especially at the beginning, but also throughout your entire career as a free-to-play player, will be your main source of resources to progress in the game. A quick summary of the previous episode. If you still have some more general doubts, you have no idea what we're talking about, I suggest you first watch the videos already made, which are designed specifically for a gradual approach. We will take the things we have already seen for granted. We will just do a very quick review. Games provide you with the computing power you need to mine your cryptocurrencies. Every time you win a game, be careful, you have to win. Simply playing is not enough. You will get a small amount of hash power which will add up to the total you already have. The power gained from games is temporary, and runs out after a period of time that varies depending on the level of your PC, that you can see represented on your desk. If you have the lowest terminal, the power lasts 24 hours. If you have a better PC, it lasts longer, up to a maximum of 7 days, as in the case you are seeing here. Remember that you have to log in every day and win at least one game if you want to maintain the level of the PC. Otherwise you will go back to the most rotten one and have to start over. However, it doesn't take long to reach level 4, a minimum of effort is enough, and if you don't put it in, you can only dream of making some progress. At this moment there are 12 mini games, maybe new ones will be added in the future, but it doesn't happen often. If I had to imagine a plan, I would say about one new game every year, but it depends on the team, and I sure don't think it's a priority. 12 is already a number that can satisfy all tastes. As we have said, games reward you with computing power, but they are not all the same. There are games that offer better rewards and others that give so little that you wonder if it's worth playing. For example, the ones that pay the best are definitely Token Blaster, Kryptonoid, and Crypto Hamster. Instead, the scarcest are practically all those that have the word coin in their name, CoinClick, CoinWatch, and so on. Actually, you will have to practice with all of them. You don't need to become a wizard, but you should be able to complete the first 5 levels of each of them, because this will help you a lot in completing some missions when there are ongoing events or seasons. I have already explained to you in previous videos that if you win a game 3 times in a row within 12 hours, the difficulty level increases, up to a maximum of 10, beyond which you will continue to play at maximum difficulty. After 12 hours your progress gradually resets, exactly 12 hours after you've completed every single match. Obviously you have to win. If you fail you won't get anything and you will only have wasted time. Last general thing, after winning a game, you won't be able to play the same game immediately, but you will have to wait for a freeze period that increases as you play more games in a row. It prevents you from spending 24 hours in front of the monitor becoming epileptic. You just need to do a little practice to understand for yourself how it works. Here we come to the individual games. We will make a very quick overview of each of them. Perhaps in the future on the channel we will make a specific video dedicated to each one. For the moment you will have to settle for a smattering, which will already take a long time. I'm thinking about recording gameplay of all levels of all games. I advise you to check on the channel. Depending on when you watch this video, it may be that there is already something published. CoinClick is a pretty simple game in itself. In the end everyone is. You have to catch the coins that the hamster drops by clicking on them, but you don't have to touch the bombs. To win the game you must be able to collect 40 coins within a time limit. This is perhaps the game that best lends itself to being played with a touchscreen device. I don't know for sure because I've never tried it, but I assure you that at the highest levels you must have a good sensitive mouse and quick reflexes. The reward is scant. Token Blaster is my favorite because it is also the one with the best rewards, starting from low levels. It's a clone of the classic evergreen Space Invaders. You have to hit the aliens and destroy them all within a time limit. Reds must be hit once, greens twice, and whites 3 times to be destroyed. The most difficult level of all is 6, which you are seeing right now. Because there are many enemies and very little time, you will almost certainly run out of it. You have to get used to it, gain experience, remember that you have 3 lives, so use them. From level 7 instead, you have to defeat the bosses, but you will see that it is much easier. Concentrate on the boss, because it is the only thing that matters. The henchmen are just disturbing elements. In Flappy Rocket, you have to guide the rocket through the obstacles represented by the Japanese candles. There's not much to say, you just have to get used to it. The spaceship tends to fall due to the force of gravity. You have to dose the ignition of the engines to keep it in trim, by clicking with the mouse or with the spacebar. In higher levels the difficulty increases significantly. Remember that you have 3 lives, use them. Cryptonoid is the clone of the classic Arkanoid. Even children know it. It is a game that I find quite difficult, because playing on a PC with the mouse is difficult to control. Furthermore, at high levels the screen is full of items and the browser struggles to keep up with them. The game could go a bit jerky, it is normal. But on the other hand, it is one of the best paying games, so you have to practice with this one too. Coin Match is similar to Candy Crush. You have to place 3 coins of the same type in a horizontal or vertical row. If you manage to make a combination of 5, you will destroy all the coins of that type in one fell swoop. It is a very easy game, and in fact the rewards are low. Crypto Hamster is a platform game where you have to help the hamster reach the top of the game stage. To do this you have to jump on the platforms, some solid and fixed, others movable or usable only once, avoiding contact with the aliens that you can instead shoot, or use them as if they were in turn supports to jump. In this game, they have improved the balance and the difficulty a lot. In the beginning the control of the character was much more complicated, so much that it was almost impossible to complete even the first levels. The reward is good, it's worth playing. 2048 coins is the most useless thing in all Rollercoin. It is a classic puzzle game. It is hated by all players because many find it complicated. It offers a ridiculously low reward, and on top of that in the higher levels it lags like crazy, to such an extent that it is impossible to play. To say the truth, the rules are quite simple once you understand the mechanism. Each round you have to push all the blocks in one direction and a new one is added. If 2 identical blocks come into contact, they are destroyed, generating a higher level 1. And the score increases. The only problem is that there is a time limit, way too low. Level 10 is impossible to play, seeing is believing. Ultimately, there is really no reason to play this game, except when it is required to complete some mission. Coin Flip is the classic memory game. You have to match 2 identical images of the same crypto, discovering 2 boxes at a time and remembering where they are hidden. Curiously, it is one of the games that pays less, despite being the only one that requires you to use a fraction of your brain. Frankly, I find this embarrassing, but I fear that the reason is to counter the bots that historically managed easily to automate the solution of this game, a problem now overcome as demonstrated by the recent massacres of unfair players who were unceremoniously banned. Dr. Hamster is a Tetris clone. The rules are pretty simple. Blocks fall from above and you have to match for blocks of the same type vertically or horizontally. The reward is good, so there's not much more to add. Definitely worth playing a few games. Token Surfer is a kind of Super Mario where our hamster travels on a skateboard. You have to avoid obstacles and ducks, and at the same time collect coins. Our skater can only jump, so the skill lies in calculating the right times to avoid falling into holes, bumping into bins, boulders and other obstacles, or being touched by ducks, which instead can be put out of action by jumping on them. Level 10 is tough. I would call it almost nightmare, however not impossible to beat with a little effort. Lembo Rider is a car race in which you have to drive your sports car collecting coins and avoiding obstacles. It's not a bad game. Its problem is that it's full of bugs which sometimes make it frustrating. For example, it very often happens that obstacles are placed in a way that completely blocks all the lanes, making any way out impossible. Or it happens that not enough coins are dropped to collect within the time limit. In this way, even if you make a perfect path, you will still have lost, and in both of these situations you will not be able to do anything about it. In a nutshell, to win I advise you not to zigzag blindly but to always stay in the lane you are in, that is the one where you collected the last coin, unless you are necessarily forced to do otherwise. And remember that you have 3 lives available. Enter the Sheners is the latest addition, added relatively recently. It's clearly inspired by The Matrix, Neo's epic backyard fight against Agent Smith's endless replicas. There is little to say, get familiar with the controls and have fun. Collect drops only if necessary, you can easily finish the game without help. Unfortunately, there is a small bug in this game as well. If you kill an enemy still too far away, before he enters the central square, he could drop the booster in an area inaccessible to you. But as I told you, this is a really minor problem, it is nothing essential and you will still be able to win with a minimum of effort. Well, I hope this video has been of some use to you and thank you for watching this far. This ends our high-level overview of Rollercoin. In the next videos we will focus on various aspects by going into each of them in more detail. See you soon!